Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Double STSG, Sam Smith, the Superior Gamer, and I'm back again, but this time with a different kind of video, right? And this video is going to show you that I'm not only a superior gamer, but I'm a superior analyst, because I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel called 10 minutes or less versus battles, right? Now, if you guys pay attention to my channel at all, you'll know I posted a short a little bit ago talking about how I was going to do a versus battle between, well, two characters, right, from one of my all-time favorite animes, and that anime is One Piece. I love One Piece, and the characters that I'm going to be talking about are none other than ZORO and Sanji, right? Now, what I'm going to be talking about is these two fighting, right? A lot of people seem to think that they're even. They're the right and left hand of the king, Luffy, and people seem to think if they were to fight, it would be like even, and that would be the fight, right? That they would break even, I guess, which I think is wrong entirely. If you ask me, the winner would always be, and always is going to be, ZORO. Right, sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm not sorry, because come on, guys, it's ZORO, like, you know, but that's gonna be kind of how these versus battles go. I'm gonna give you my opinion up front, and then I'll talk to you guys about why I think it goes that way, right? So I'm gonna explain to you guys why I believe ZORO wins, and, well, basically why ZORO wins, because ZORO wins, but I'm gonna be turning my face cam off for it, because I want you guys to be able to pay attention to what I'm doing, and what I'm showing you. So and also I wouldn't want you guys to be distracted by my beautiful mug. That would be a little too distracting for you, but yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. So see you guys in a second. All right, guys, I'm back, and let's just get right into this. There are a lot of reasons why I think ZORO wins, and one of them is his durability. I just want to get right into that, right? ZORO is one of the most durable characters on the Straw Hat crew, if not the most durable character, and if you ask me, he's probably like top 10 most durable characters in the series. Now, we see time and time again, whether ZORO is being slashed, or he's being, you know, pile drived, that he always comes out on top. Right, that's just kind of Zoro's thing. Zoro is, he adapts in his fights, and he's very durable, right? But it's not just me who thinks that. Characters from the series think Zoro's durable. Take this panel, for instance, right? This is Arlong. He's got Zoro by the neck, and basically he rips off these bandages, and he sees Zoro's cut across his chest that he got from Mihawk, and basically Arlong is like, bro, how are you alive? Like, how are you breathing? Like, let alone walking around and fighting, because Zoro's been fighting this entire time, right? Like, he's been fighting Arlong's men, and this whole time he's had this huge wound on his chest, and Arlong's just like, bro, you should be dead. Which, yeah, it only goes to show Zoro's durability. Now, case in point, the most durable thing we've ever seen Sanji do, at least that I think, is when he got zapped by Enel in the Skypiea arc, right? Now, Sanji was already zapped once, and he got kind of, you know, beat up, and, you know, it was bad for Sanji. But he did get zapped twice after he woke up and got up off the ship. He had been bandaged up. He was helping Nami and Usopp escape Enel, and, well, this is what happened to him. He got zapped up. Now, Sanji was still conscious after the initial zap, right? And he said a quick little one-liner, but then he collapses, right? So, to me, that's the most durable thing we've seen Sanji take, right? And Zoro is better. Now, another thing I want to talk about is attack potency, right? Zoro uses swords, bro. Like, swords. Sanji's boot is not doing more damage than Zoro's katana. Like, stop. Now, the most notable things that I think show off Zoro's attack potency, the damage he can do, is, well, one of them is when he fights Pika. Right there, that's Pika, right? He's huge in comparison to Zoro, right? He gets a lot bigger. He turns himself into a giant stone version of himself, right? And, like, I could sit here and tell you what Zoro does to him, but I think I'm going to show you what Zoro does to him. You guys see Zoro there? Yeah, you see Zoro? Hold on a second. You're going to see something crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, so Zoro just cut that giant guy in half. He cut him in half. And look at the reaction from Bartolomeo, right? Even he thinks this is crazy. Like, how are you cutting this dude in half, bro? Like, I think it's crazy too. Right? And as if it weren't bad enough that Zoro cut this dude in half, he does it twice. He does it twice. Look at that. He cuts him vertically after he cuts him horizontally. Cuts him in half, then he cuts him down the middle. Zoro is insane. And that's not even the craziest thing he's done, right? I'd say the craziest thing Zoro's done is, well, show us that he's capable of cutting Kaido, who is one of the most durable characters in the series. Kaido, regular attacks don't even affect Kaido. You have to have advanced Haki to even hurt this guy. And Zoro slices him up, right? Not actually, like, you know, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Zoro's capable of hurting him. Kaido actively, when they're fighting, actively tries to avoid Zoro because he knows that Zoro can hurt him, right? And Zoro's a different breed, bro. I don't know how else to tell you guys this. Zoro's crazy. Now, guys, I could talk to you forever about how Zoro and Sanji have different attributes, like Sanji's faster than Zoro. He's more agile, right? He's quicker, right? Zoro's stronger, you know? And like I said, his attacks do more damage, right? But there's something that Zoro does that Sanji just straight up does not do. And that is train. We see Zoro train all the time. Zoro, whenever they're not off beating up bad guys, Zoro's training. Whenever they're not goofing off on the ship, Zoro's training. Whenever they're not goofing off and beating up bad guys, Zoro's training, right? We don't ever really see Sanji training. Sanji doesn't train, right? If that makes any sense, I guess. Not that we see, right? And the only time that we get confirmation that Sanji has done some form of training is when they all get wiped out by Kuma. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you do. If you don't, well, take my word for it. They all get blown away to different islands by Kuma. He's a character in the show. And, you know, it's a 2-year time skip, right? And for those 2 years, we know that Sanji was honing his abilities and that he was training and running from ugly women, right? That's what we know Sanji was doing, right? But even in that, Zoro has him beat because Zoro got flown to a whole different place where he was trained by none other than Mihawk. He was trained by Mihawk, bro. Zoro got trained by the greatest swordsman in the story, right? Like, it's canon. Mihawk's the greatest swordsman. Zoro got trained by him for 2 years, right? And you're trying to tell me that Sanji and him are equal? Are you serious? They're not equal, okay? Now, I'm not trying to poop on Sanji, but not, like, even taking this, you know, with a grain of salt. You know, maybe Mihawk didn't train him directly, or Mihawk didn't really train him like that. Maybe he just told him what to do, right? But we know that Zoro's been training his whole life. Since he was a kid, Zoro has been training. So the gap in experience in terms of like work ethic and like what you've done to hone your skills is vast between Zoro and Sanji, right? Now, another one of the things that people say all the time about why Zoro and Sanji are equal is that they fight similar caliber opponents, right? Now, this is a list of the CP9 members that the Straw Hats fought. Now, number 3 is Jabra. That's who Sanji fought. Number 2 is Kaku. That's who Zoro fought, right? Okay, now what people fail to understand about these fights, right? Yes, they are close. They're only 20 points apart in terms of power level, right? But if you pay attention to the fights, when Zoro ended Kaku, he did it in one attack. He beat Kaku with one attack. Now, I'm not saying it's the only attack he sent Kaku's way, but it's the only attack that landed, and it put Kaku down. It only takes Zoro so many attacks before he puts you down because, once again, guys, don't know how many times I have to emphasize this, Zoro uses swords. Zoro's swords do more damage than Sanji's boot. I'm sorry to have to explain that to people. And, you know, another thing that kind of bugs me, Zoro's got 3 swords and Sanji's only got 2 legs and needs one of them to stand. So, like, I get it, it's an anime and Sanji can do some crazy stuff, but come on, guys. If he's kicking with one leg and Zoro blocks with his sword, Zoro's got 2 other swords, one's in his mouth, but he has a whole other hand that he can cut this man's leg off with. I'm just saying, right? But that aside, another thing that like kind of showcases, like I said, Zoro beat Kaku with one attack. When we see Sanji fighting, right? It takes Sanji multitudes of attacks to put his opponents down. Now, I'm not saying Sanji's weak. It's just that his foot, like I said, does not do as much damage as a sword. So it's going to take him more attacks to put you down, right? And that's no knock to Sanji because he lands those attacks. That's why he's fast. That's why he's quick. Another thing that people normally bring up when I talk about Zoro and Sanji, I'm talking about like my friends if I talk to them about it, or like things I'll see on YouTube, is like Sanji's raid suit, right? Now the raid suit gives Sanji a couple of buffs, speed, strength, durability, and it also gives him the ability to turn invisible, which is, you know, really handy. if you're not fighting somebody like Zoro, right? I'm not saying that Zoro completely just negates everything that his suit does, but it's easier to explain by talking about this fight. Sanji versus King, right? So Sanji fights King for it's pretty brief. It's not a standstill fight where one person wins, but they fight briefly, and basically King kind of just catches all Sanji's attacks, throws him around, blocks his attack with a single arm most of the time, right? And he doesn't even ever pull his sword out on Sanji, right? Like, come on, man. And I'm not saying, once again, I'm not trying to say Sanji's weak, but this opponent just completely shows that Sanji's attacks, while they're quick or they're fast, might not be strong enough to get to everybody. And I'm sure that Sanji would have found a way to tag King if they had fought in longer, but I'm just saying he wasn't able to really do anything against King, and he kind of got thrown around. Now, the reason I bring this up, and the reason that it's kind of integral to what I'm talking about, is because we know, if you pay attention to the anime or the manga, that Zoro beats King, right? And if it's not like bad enough that Zoro beats King, he does it in a severely weakened state, right? Now, a lot of people say that King and Queen, Queen is one of Kaido's other men. He's like the third man in Kaido's group, right? Like the third strongest in terms of like bounty and just strength in general, right? And King's the second, right? But their bounties are so close, and people make that same argument. Oh, King and Queen are relative, so Sanji and Zoro are relative, right? But we know, even say King and Queen are completely equal, right? Say King and Queen are completely equal. Zoro beat King in a severely weakened state. Let me elaborate. You see those bandages? That Sanji's carrying, that big old bundle? That's Zoro. He's in a cocoon of bandages because this is him after the fight with Kaido, with Luffy and them. And he's beat the shit up. Like, I can't even paraphrase here. Zoro's was dying, basically. But he gets healed up and he gets bandaged up. And then immediately after, he's only been healing for a short time. And immediately after that, he gets bounced right into another fight against. He has to fight King, right? And he beats him. So, I just don't understand why people seem to think, because once again, even if King and Queen were completely equal, Zoro beat King in a severely weakened state, right? He had just been fighting Kaido, for God's sakes. He had help, but he got damaged, and Zoro did a lot of incredible stuff in that fight. But it just speaks volumes to what Zoro's capable of doing, even when he's injured, right? Now listen, I'm not knocking Sanji by any means. Sanji's a great character, and he's incredibly important to the crew offensively. He is still one of their strongest members. Sanji is amazing. I like him as a character, and I do think he's incredibly strong. However, Sanji's role on the crew, while he has been a primary fighter, has always been more of the integral guy. Now, what I mean by that is in a lot of arcs, you see Sanji's kind of behind the scenes, pushing things forward and doing stuff behind the scenes. I don't know how else to say it. And that's always just been Sanji's thing, right? He's the behind the scenes guy. He does work behind the scenes. And another thing is Zoro and Sanji's bounties are close, but there's kind of a reason why Zoro's bounty's higher. And then another thing to think about is their bounties don't go up for the same reasons. And what I mean by that is Sanji's bounty went up after the Whole Cake Island arc, right? But it didn't go up because he beat up some really tough guy or he punched Big Mom in the face, or I guess I should say kicked, right? None of that happened. And I'm not saying he did that. I was just talking about my butt. But the reason his bounty goes up after that is because the world government finds out who he's associated with, the Germa family, right? So, Sanji's bounty goes up for different reasons than Zoro does. Anytime we've seen Zoro's bounty go up, it's after a major fight, right? It's after Zoro did something crazy, something that showcased his power and showcased his affiliation with Luffy and why he's the right-hand man of Luffy, right? And that's just what Zoro is. He's the right-hand man of Luffy. And there's a reason for that. So unfortunately, guys, if you were hoping that I'd say Sanji somehow beats Zoro or even ties with him, I'm not going to say that. I can't lie to you guys. I'm sorry. Zoro and Sanji are relative to each other in what they do for the crew. They're both fighters who fight at a very high level to protect their crewmates. But unfortunately for Sanji, Zoro is taking this fight. Zoro would beat Sanji, and I really don't know how else to put it. If I had to say the difficulty level, I would say it's mid to maybe high, because once again, Sanji is fast, he's strong, he can hurt Zoro. I just don't think he has anything that's going to put Zoro down, right? And Vice versa, Zoro has swords. Like, that's literally all I have to say. If Zoro lands a couple of attacks on Sanji, Sanji's done. Especially given Zoro's strength and attack potency, right? But you guys know that's just what it is. Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video. I hope you agreed with my analysis because it's correct, and you should agree with it because it's correct. Nah, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'd love to do more. You know, if you guys give me comments of who you guys would like me to talk about, I'll definitely talk about them. My analysis probably isn't gonna be like a Seth the Programmer, where I shower you guys with stuff you might not even have known, facts and stuff from the data books. But you know, it's my own personal take on it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But that's been your boy SSTSG, Sam Smith, the Superior Gamer, which hopefully now you understand I'm also a superior analyst, or analyst, not analyst. What kind of word is that? But I hope everybody has a great day or night, depending on when you're watching this. And don't forget to tell somebody you love them, you appreciate them, and don't forget to watch anime. Crucial to your life. Like, if you're not watching anime, unless you're watching me, obviously, then you can take a break from the anime. Nah, but once again, hope everybody has a great day, and peace out, guys.